Right, request. We got a request to talk about. Um, in today's society, are we developing boys or men? So, it's not a really yes or no question, but it's more likely in today's society that we are developing more boys than men. Um, First off, I'm not going to start by saying I'm a real man, this and that. I know personally that I am a real man, but I think that that's actually negative to do when you're doing like a video or talking to somebody about it, because you're using yourself as the outline, and that's way too arrogant. What we are going to talk about is basically do television, parenting, neighborhood, schools. These all of these things do all of these things combined create more boys than men in today's society? Yes. The answer to that is yes. The combination of these things are so overwhelming that children today basically are boys. Let me go back. Boys today, since that's what we're focusing on, boys today are growing up in a world where the demand itself to be more responsible and more accountable for your actions is at an all-time low. I mean, everything's glorified. Violence, sex, money. I mean, everything, abuse is glorified in the media. Parents are in a disarray because with the economy, they're working more, at home even less, and then when they are home, the kids aren't there because they're less chaperoned. There's less guidance going on. I mean, I remember when there was everybody was assigned a specific guidance counselor in high school. Man, you even say guidance counselor in a school, and number one, that's one person. Number two, they barely do anything, barely remember anybody's names, and kids are only sent there when there's actually physically something wrong or mentally something wrong with the child. It has nothing to do with guiding every student that walks through those halls. So there's school. There's just a little bit of problem with schools and parenting. Then you got the neighborhoods and societies. There are more neighborhoods now that are located around metropolitan areas or highly accessible, for whether it's city transportation or by way of other friends, where children are going and growing themselves up. The sense of neighborhood is almost a lost a, a lost practice. Personally, I grew up in two neighborhoods. A neighborhood does not just mean, like today's society, a neighborhood does not just mean that there's a bunch of houses, it has a title for the housing community, and people live there. A neighborhood is literally where you get your supplement to your school education by living around other folks, other peers that are going to help you grow, show you the ropes, so to speak. Get in trouble, other parents look out for you. A neighborhood, my neighbors and my hood are togetherness. Those things are, I mean, I couldn't tell you where a great neighborhood is today. My old neighborhood is, my old two neighborhoods that I lived in aren't like that today. Drugs, money, these things have been around, and it's not like they've died out or gotten any stronger. The bottom line is that the powers that be, as far as structures that we had in education, for television standards and things like that, they have dropped so low that it's affected the neighborhoods because the children themselves aren't there. They're held way less accountable for their actions, so they're getting away with just crazy things. And not only is it that a child gets away with something, it's that they don't even understand that something that they did or a thought process is wrong or morally flawed. So this is a problem, and it all adds into, sorry about that, truck. It all adds into the fact is that the outcome is going to be more grown men that not that they do childish things. Those are individual incidences. We're talking about we're going to get more. We have and are producing more grown men who don't even have a clue what laziness is, what a work ethic is, what a what process to use, what kind of thought process to use financially, how to even take care of someone else, because these things are not even being shown or taught. So we're not even going to say fault, because you are a product of your environment to a certain extent. And if your environment is constantly of some kind of lack, you not only are you lack, but you have no clue that you're lack, and it's a bad thing. So to those mothers, to those fathers out there, even if you're not as successful as you want to be at this time, if you are very successful, they're still the same. You all have to do one thing exactly the same. You have to pass on to your children not the results of your success as much as, of course you do that, but you have to pass on to them how and the process, the success that you have happened, so they understand it takes work, it takes risk, it takes know-how, education. It takes something more than just receiving, because that's going to be a problem. If a child never knows that they're constantly receiving, but they don't know where it's coming from, they're going to grow into adults who don't understand not having, that it takes your time and effort and work to receive. And it won't be, it'll be 50% their fault, and it'll be 50% don't know. That's in the Bible. I mean, you can't ask something that you don't know. Literally. You can't ask, how does it go? Okay, you can't ask something that you don't know to ask. So contemplate on that a minute, and I'm gonna tell you, love you, raise these children right, or at least show them how you got to the success you have, or show them why you haven't been as successful as you want, so that they know that there is more to it than just taking, than just what I feel like I want to do, than just this makes me happy all the time. You have to show them these things so that they can be more smart, more interactive, more understanding adults, boys especially, because we need to know what it is to be a man and why that differs from being a child. Love y'all. Keep doing better for your children as much as you can.